Hello everyone and welcome back to Xbox Nation. Today we're diving into Parcel Corps on the Xbox Series X and S. It's a fast-paced, chaotic and seriously fun game where you trade in your day job to become a full-time bicycle courier. This one actually comes from Billy Goat Entertainment, a Northern Irish developer known for their humorous and light-hearted games. It's got that signature arcade feel with high-speed deliveries, crazy challenges and a whole lot of character. Honestly though, does it live up to the thrill of a premium rush? Well, we're going to break down everything from gameplay mechanics, visuals, customization, and so much more. Stick around because we've got a lot to talk about, especially in this review. Now, let's get started. So, what's Parcel Corps all about? Well, you play as an aspiring bicycle courier in a city that's bustling with deliveries just waiting to happen. Your main objective here is to build up your delivery app empire by signing up local businesses as your clients. You'll complete timed deliveries to impress them, and once they're on board, they'll come back on a regular basis with a variety of jobs for you to handle. It sounds simple at first, but trust me, there's a lot more depth than meets the eye. The game here starts off with a very brief tutorial to get you comfortable with the controls, and let me just say, I just love how this is designed. It's fully voiced, so you're not just reading a wall of text, which is a massive plus, especially for myself. The tutorial's quick, snappy, and to the point, getting you just right into the action. From there, it's all about getting those deliveries done and against the clock. You're essentially zipping through the streets, dodging pedestrians, finding shortcuts and making some tight turns. And the faster and more efficiently you complete these deliveries, the more that your reputation grows. This opens up new businesses to work for, as well as new areas of the map to explore. One of the things that I really appreciated about Parcel Corps is just how well designed the map is. At first, you're working in a relatively small area, and that's actually a smart choice by the developers. This actually gives you time to really get to know the streets, learn the fastest routes, and figure out where all the best shortcuts are. You'll even start recognizing hazards like traffic patterns and obstacles, so by the time you've built up your reputation, you're moving through the area just like a pro. As you progress and your reputation increases, more areas of the city become available to you. And let me tell you, the difficulty ramps up just significantly. Suddenly, you're not just dealing with a couple of pedestrians and a few parked cars, now you've actually got to navigate busy intersections, construction zones, and more complex delivery routes. The game does a great job of keeping you on your toes, and just when you think you've mastered the map, it throws something completely new at you. Another nice touch is that the game also rewards you for becoming familiar with your city, as you start to develop this almost instinctive knowledge of just where to go, and also which shortcuts save the most time and how to avoid some certain hazards. That sense of mastery is just incredibly satisfying, especially when you're trying to shave off every second from your deliveries. Now, let's talk about the controls, because in a game like this, where speed and precision are absolutely everything, controls can either make or break this experience. Fortunately, Parcel Corps absolutely nails it in this department. The controls are incredibly tight and responsive, and very easy to pick up. Whether you're pulling off a sharp turn, bunny hopping over an obstacle, or just trying to maintain speed while heading through traffic, every single move feels smooth and natural. One of the key mechanics though is just learning how to balance your speed with the control. You can't just pedal at full speed all the time. Well, you kind of can, but you'll likely end up slamming into something. The trick here is actually mastering the flow of the game by knowing when to push for maximum speed and when to slow down to navigate tricky spots. It honestly reminds you of a lot of old school arcade races where precision was key and mistakes were incredibly costly. Speaking of precision though, the game also lets you perform a variety of tricks and stunts whilst delivering parcels. You can wall ride, bunny hop, and pull off some crazy mid-air maneuvers whenever you want. These moves aren't just for show though, mastering them is essential if you want to make those tight deliveries on time. The controls here are intuitive enough that after a while, you'll be stringing together stunts without even thinking about it. So, visually, Parcel Corps has a distinct style that really makes it stand out. The game uses a more cel-shaded art style, which gives it this bright, colourful, almost comic book-like appearance. If you've played games like Hi-Fi Rush, you'll definitely feel at home here. The colours are very vibrant and the world just feels alive. The character animations are another standout feature. The way that your rider moves, leans into turns and jumps over obstacles just feels incredibly natural. One thing that I really did love about this game is how it manages to make cycling look and feel so dynamic. You really get a sense of momentum when you're picking up speed, and the game does a great job of conveying physics of riding a bike. It's very similar in a way to games like Jet Set Radio, so you'll definitely be able at home if you played this game in the past. The environmental details also add a lot of charm, from the busy streets to the quirky characters that you'll meet along the way. Everything in this game just feels part of this lively, breathing city. Now, one of the things that really sets this game apart from other games in its genre is just its sense of humor. The game here just doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's clear from the moment that you meet the side characters. They're quirky, fun, and full of personality. The developers have clearly had a blast creating these so-called legally distinct from recognizable IP characters, as they call them, which are basically parodies of well-known figures. It's a fun, light-hearted touch that really adds to their overall charm. There's also this brilliant sort of CNN-style news bulletin that pops up throughout the game, and it breaks that fourth wall, adding a satirical twist to the story. It's a very clever narrative tool that fits perfectly within the game's over-the-top and comedic tone. And also, the voice acting here is just spot on and really adds another layer to enjoyment to the overall experience. Now, let's talk about customization, which is where the game kind of hits a bit of a bump. While Parcel Corps lets you upgrade your bike with various cosmetic parts like new handlebars, tires, and paint jobs, these upgrades are purely aesthetic. There's no real impact on the gameplay, and personally, I would have loved to have seen these upgrades tied to performance, like making your bike faster, giving it better handling, or just improving your ability to pull off some stunts. It would have added a lot more depth to the progression system instead of just falling flat. Unfortunately, I did also run into a few graphical glitches whilst customizing my bike. There were times where parts didn't fit correctly, or certain components floated awkwardly in midair. It's not a huge deal at all, but it really does take you out of the experience, especially when you've just spent in-game currency on these parts. If you're into cosmetic upgrades and making your bike look cool, you'll probably enjoy these customization options. But if you're like me and looking for meaningful upgrades that affect how the game plays, you might feel a little bit disappointed. So, is Parcel Corps on the Xbox Series X worth your time? Well, it's very 50-50 at the moment. It is a game that is very fast, fun, and satisfying, and offers a great blend of humor, challenge, and old-school arcade-style gameplay. It's not perfect by any means, and the customization can be a bit more impactful, and there are quite a few graphical glitches here and there. These are minor issues though compared to the core gameplay, and that overall is just a complete blast. My main gripe with this game is the price tag currently, and I think that sort of premium $30 price tag is a bit of a steep ask, especially for an indie experience. Though, if you are looking for a game that's easy to jump into but hard to master, this game definitely delivers that in spades. It's the kind of game you have to play in short bursts or sit down with for longer sessions when you need a break from more intense titles. Personally, I call it more of a palate cleanser, as it's something you pop into between bigger and more demanding games just to have some fun. So if you've ever wanted to feel the thrill of being a high-speed bicycle courier, or you just enjoy games with a quirky sense of humor, then definitely give this game a go. Us here at Xbox Nation are going to give Parcel Corps a 6.5 out of 10, and I would probably wait for a sale for this one, but if you really like some sort of Tony Hawk style or Jet Set Radio game, then you might as well purchase this one now. So let me know in the comments below if you'll be picking up this game for the Xbox Series X and S. Also, whilst here, remember to like the video if you enjoyed our review, and subscribe for more Xbox news, reviews, and updates every single day. Whilst here, why don't you check out our most recent video covering the huge sale that's currently going on in the Xbox Store.